Welcome. Welcome. It's all just begun. You didn't miss out. Come join in the fun. Welcome. Welcome. You made it on time. We've all been waiting just for you to arrive. Welcome. Welcome. It's so cool that you're here. Hello to those from away. Hello to those who are near. Welcome. Welcome. Our patience paid off. And now that you're with us, we're ready to start. Welcome. So welcome everyone. My name is Donnie Welch. I'm a poet and children's author from New York City. You can follow me on Instagram at Donnie Welch Poetry, Twitter at Donnie Welch Poet, and go to DonnieWelchPoetry.com to learn even more about me and the work that I do. Today though, I'm going to teach you all about bound poetry. And we're going to look at two versions of it in particular. Erasure or blackout poetry, and a collage poem, or what I call a collage poem, though I'm not sure there's really a formal name. For this project, you'll need a pen or a marker. I like a pen though, because a marker sometimes rubs its ink off on me, and that's something to consider if you're someone who, like me, doesn't particularly like getting messy or getting ink all over their palms. You'll need a pair of scissors, some glue or tape, construction paper, or just blank printer paper. And you'll also need a source text. Now, a source text is what you're going to use to make the poem. It has to be something with words or images for you to use. What I love about this project is that you can use anything you have around. You can use a piece of junk mail, an old newspaper, an article you print off online, an advertisement, anything with text, so some words and images for you to play around with. I'm using a little booklet I got in a free box at Tempest Bookshop in Waitsfield, Vermont. Free boxes are an absolute gold mine. It's called Ghost Tours of York by Jane Neal, and it was a little tourist booklet about haunted places in York, England. Now, as you saw when I opened up, and I'll show you again, I've done a little bit of work in here already, thinking about found poems and blackout poems in particular. But there are a few pages that aren't too covered up, and I'm going to use those today in our demonstration. First, let's go through an erasure or blackout style poem. So I like to start by taking my source text and my marker or pen. I'm going to use pen in this case, like I mentioned. And I'm just going to read through for interesting words. Any ones that catch my eye, I'll block out or black out the words next to them so that it helps the words stand out. Here you see I did it with walled up. Something about that really just stands out to me, especially thinking about hauntings and haunted places. Then here again, I did dear octopus because that's just such a silly thing to have pop up, especially in terms of ghost stories. I think I'm gonna do rehearsing too. Right, so that we get rehearsing dear octopus. Now sometimes I might get a little bored, so I might just kind of make a big mess and cross out a bunch of words at once, right? And maybe there's some things I'm missing in here, but I have so much text to deal with, right? So many words and paragraphs on this page that if I lose a few, it's not a big deal. And really, it's probably going to help me focus a bit. So after I've narrowed down my search, right, I'm going to focus on just these two first paragraphs for our demo. I'm going to read through it, and anything that stands out to me is kind of clunky or doesn't make sense, I'm going to start taking that out. And now let's try this erasure poem, this blackout poem, The Theatre Royal. Records show that no one broke the order of silence, dear octopus. Now that's a pretty funny start, I think. And if I wanted to, I could keep working with all this text on this page. But I'm going to move on so we can talk about the collage poem. So for the collage poem, I'm going to take a pretty similar approach to the erasure blackout poem, but I have different tools, right? I have glue or tape, which will come in handy a little bit later. I have my scissors and the source material. So you can see I already got started a little bit. I said it's a similar technique to the blackout poem because, like you can see from my cuts already, and there's a little bit of blacking out that happened too, but you can see I'm still selecting words. So the words I have so far are the door, you've breathed, a light beyond. Now, unlike the erasure poem, when I find a word here that I like, I'm just gonna do some cutting. So I have the word peace, which you might be able to see right by the tip of my scissor. I'm gonna cut that out because I kind of like the vibe of it. We have a light and breathing, and for a book that is about haunted places, some really kind of fun, peaceful words. So right now, this text, which might be difficult to read, because the print's pretty small, which makes cutting hard. Oftentimes when I do collage projects, I like to use newspapers or advertisements that have particularly large font, right? Newspapers are great with headlines or the subheadings that are still pretty big. But what I like about this as a collage is that it means you can have all those different sizes mixed in, right? The door is bigger than you have breathed, a light beyond peace. And if I want, I can even add a picture to this. Now, the picture that goes with this is pretty eerie, right? Really pretty haunted. That doesn't fit the vibe of the poem I have. But when I made the cut, I accidentally cut out this other page, but really, I kind of like this. The picture of this is photographic evidence, so you can see it looks kind of like a TV show, Ghost Hunter, silhouette or shadow of a ghost. But it's this window and this door for my poem called The Door that I really like. So I'm gonna make some cuts to add some part of this picture to the collage. I'm gonna cut around the ghost. It's a little off tone, but it's that light and that sense of brightness that I want for my poem. And now that I have my little archway, I might just put the poem around it, right? And so this is an important part too. Since you're putting this on construction paper or white printer paper, whatever you have, you wanna first arrange everything the way you want it before you glue or tape. So I'm looking at this, I have my visual, my doorway framed in light. I have the door for the title, and I have my 3-line poem. You have breathed a light beyond peace. So let's get this glued down, shall we? Cool, so now we have my collage poem. The door. You have breathed a light beyond peace. And so there you have it. What started with some words coming out of Ghost Tours of York, right? A tourist book, a little pamphlet about haunted houses in York, England, has made 2 pretty cool poems with some kind of eeriness to them maybe, but I like to think that you can take the language that someone else used, right? Someone else's words, and find your own messages and meaning in them. That's really a big part of the fun of all this. Thanks so much for coming to make some poetry with me today. Please be sure to share your creations with Inclusion Fest, and enjoy the rest of your festival too. Until next time, have fun, y'all.